Do you do that, like, before every one of your episodes?
What?
Because you do that before every episode of ours. You're like,
I gotta get
All
into
right,
the
guys.
mental headspace
to talk to your wife. Do you do that for everyone, or is it just me?
to talk to any person. I do this in public when I see
You
somebody.
take, like, your first deep breath?
They're like, is this guy crazy? Is he gonna kill me? Is this a serial killer? Maybe.
Yeah.
Play your cards right. I think anybody can be a killer if the person plays their cards right. It's not
Yeah.
like a yes or no answer. It's like a maybe.
Depends what you do.
Well, we're already rolling because that's going to be in the edit. So
That'll be the intro.
that'll be the intro. Me talking about potentially killing somebody that asked me why I don't have an LS in my car. I'm not talking about anybody particular. There's probably happened before.
Yeah.
Or like it's like making a funny noise, or like there's the common joke of like, oh, it's a weird sounding LS, a weird sounding V8. You know, it's a joke I've heard before.
I don't know this joke. I'm confused.
Like when my car's idling and they're like, that's a weird sounding V8.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny every time you say it. Just know, if you come up to me and I've never...
It makes Cooper laugh.
Every time. I've never heard it before, so come tell me.
You'll be the first person to come up to Cooper and say that.
It's an original thought. I guarantee it. So, we are back today with a Bogetti Bunch episode. It's been a while. These are kind of like the housekeeping episodes in a way.
I know, it's fun. We just kind of get to sit down and talk for a little bit. Spend some quality time together.
And I can kind of talk about previous stuff that's happened on the podcast. If like some people listen to like every episode, I can be like, man, like the guy that was here, he smelled so bad. I'm just kidding. I'm not talking about Garrett. It may have been Cletus McFarland. I don't know if he washes his mullet. It's unlikely.
Definitely doesn't. Or the hat. He just puts on a hat every day and sends it.
It's unlikely that he washes that thing. But we are back. I am a winner now. I mean, I've been a winner before, but...
Quickly after the Garrett podcast, I was saying to Cooper that like a lot, like they had like a little dad talk sesh in their podcast. And I was saying maybe down the line after our baby is here and we get some experience that the four of us, me, you, Garrett, and Maddie, all sit down and have like a parent, dad life, mom life podcast. That might be fun. I'll have to chat with Maddie about it.
See if everybody's down. I mean, some people might say some off the cuff stuff if you're not used to talking for extended periods of time like me. Well, mostly, I guess Maddie's the only one that's not used to podcasting. She'd be the new one
Wait,
at it.
what do you mean? That she would say stuff off the cuff? What do you mean?
You never know. Some people are worried about that on podcasts. I've talked to people that are like, man, I'll say something crazy. I'm like, you should come on.
Oh, like they're like nervous podcasting.
Or you just say something. You say something once you're talking long enough. Not that Maddie would, but it's always a chance with anybody.
You and Maddie would probably Maddie and Cooper get into some good conversations sometimes. You guys would probably have good conversations.
Yeah, but I don't know if any of that would want to be publicized.
No, it's not bad things.
Conspiracy stuff.
Yeah, well, everyone's a little bit.
That's what it usually goes down to, like me and Spencer type conversations.
Okay, not that serious, I feel like.
Me and Spencer.
But I feel like it would be fun, maybe the four of us to sit down, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, it would be fun. Or you moms could sit down and I could moderate.
Oh.
Yeah. You could have a mom podcast, but maybe at some point. Maybe.
Just a thought.
Maybe some. I know a lot of people commented and reached out that they liked the dad stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That would be fun.
And it would be interesting to hear different dad levels of things, even if I have just other dads on, just dads.
Like, oh, yeah, you did say that too, right? You were like, I should have like a dad podcast.
Yeah. I mean,
like
most
you,
of my friends,
Garrett, James, and
Victor.
Like, yeah, Victor.
Or Jim. Yeah, a bunch of dads out there.
Yeah.
James is the most in-depth dad because he's been dad the longest.
Dad of three for the longest, yeah.
For longer than all of us. I mean, granted, my dad or something like that, but...
Okay, but your friend.
He's a loose cannon. My dad on here would be wild.
Oh my God, yeah, if you and your dad got into stuff, that'd be funny.
Yeah. But where are we at? So Bronte's 33 weeks pregnant.
Should I show him my belly?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to move that chair from you, too.
I don't know if they can see it.
Yeah, if you're
My
watching,
belly's
there's a
getting
belly.
big.
If you're on Spotify, I don't know what to tell you. You can't see it.
Sorry, you can't see my belly,
There's
but
no
it's
video.
huge. I didn't think I could get this big, but it's getting there.
It's all belly.
All belly.
All
Yeah,
belly.
sorry if I'm shortness of breath too, because that's a problem over here.
I hope no one's watching because my hair is wild these
Yeah,
days.
Cooper needs a haircut real bad.
No.
My hair is kind of wild too. Yeah, I said that to you the other day. I was like, it's time for a haircut.
They said our baby has
This
a mullet.
side is like-
They can't see that side.
Yeah, good thing you guys can't see that side. What the? It looks like something drove through it.
My driver's side.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know how like boat people talk like port, starboard, stern, bow? I
Yeah.
talk driver, passenger.
passenger
Yeah, I
side.
don't say left, right, just driver side, passenger side.
Oh my god.
If you're from a European country and you drive on the wrong side of the road, you're doing it wrong anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm not worried about you.
We went and toured the hospital last week, which is exciting.
Yes.
And then yesterday we were playing with the car seat, figuring out all that stuff, which was, I'm actually really, when we went to the hospital, the woman giving us the tour told us, she was like, play with the car seat because it's pretty confusing, and I'm glad we did, so.
Yeah, that was a long hospital tour. Like she had a lot to talk about, and like it's this.
Her or me? Because I feel like it was me. I
No,
asked
she
so
had
many
a lot to talk
questions.
about, and then like every time, I don't know what it is, but when you're watching those courses too, I start to get drowsy. I was like listening, and I was just like. Like
my
it starts to
God.
put me to sleep. I'm like trying to.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I looked over at you, and you looked like something was wrong.
I was
and
on that
just like,
couch that I'm supposed to be sleeping on. Because we were in the room,
God.
and I was like, man, maybe I should test this out. I didn't feel necessary. Mm-hmm. Like it was mostly you guys having a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I know I really just had all the questions and stuff. You didn't really have much, but
I just
so
was
you were just
listening.
sitting there listening.
I was starting to doze off. Very dad of me.
Literally, like we're talking about birth and things that have to do with the baby. Then like we're like, Cooper, you want to cut the cord? You're like, oh yeah, I'll cut the cord.
Oh.
You wake up from your dozing off. Yeah,
I want
I'll
to
cut
retrieve the
cord.
baby. I want to catch him.
She said you could.
Yeah, I want to.
Are you okay? Let's be real. Come on,
What?
because that's actually something that if you want to catch him as he comes out.
Yeah. I don't want to catch the placenta. I'd rather catch the baby. Don't you have to do one or the other?
I feel like you're just saying this to be a big talk,
No.
big mouth, and then we're gonna come back here. It's gonna be like the doctor caught the baby.
I fainted.
Cooper fainted during
Cooper went into it saying he was going to do all this stuff. He fainted, and they had to take him to the food court.
They had to give him apple juice.
I could definitely catch the baby. I'm not worried about that.
But
It's something I would like to do.
are you serious?
Yeah.
No, like
No,
are you serious?
100%.
Like we're gonna write on your thing, your plan that you. Are you sure? I don't know if I want you down there.
It will be the
catching him.
plan to catch him, and if it gets heated in the moment, and I have to tap in the
abort.
doctor. Get in there, Chief. I lied. I lied on my resume.
I changed my mind.
I'm out, dude. I'm out. I don't even think that's mine.
Like the head starts coming out. You're like, never mind, tap in.
Why didn't you warn me?
Oh my god.
But I feel like you can say that you want to, and then when it comes into the heat of the moment, you can tap out. I don't think they're gonna hold you to it.
No.
The doctor like hands
You signed
up.
up for this. It's your job now. No, but I think also like the doctor probably has to like. The doctor probably gets him all the way out and then kind of like hands him off to you quick to like then put on me. Cause
You think he's like the
you probably like
he's like the
legally
center?
can't like deliver the baby. You know what I mean?
legally I can't. What?
I don't know. You're not a
Am
doctor.
I gonna get arrested?
No, but like I don't
Sir,
know.
we have an officer waiting outside.
Oh God. I mean, if you want to do that, I guess it's your experience as well.
Well, I wanna be part of it, but if you don't want me to do that, that is also a valid thing to say. If you would rather me do something else.
Yeah, I guess that I'll have to see in the moment. Like if I'm like, no, I need you up here. Like,
Yeah.
like help.
And that's
talk
what I
to
mean.
me,
Like, I'd rather
you know?
go in with the mindset I'm going to and then abort. Well, that's a rough word to say during this conversation.
Oh, God.
And then back out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'd rather do that than like have no thoughts to do it.
I feel like you're just saying this and it's bothering me.
No,
because-
I'm 100% serious. I would like to. I would like that to be on my resume of delivered baby.
Okay. All
I don't know
right.
if you would put that on a resume, but
All
I
right.
think there's something cool about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be the first hands to touch him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Has anybody out there...
Caught their baby.
Yeah, has anybody caught their
Yeah.
baby?
Let Cooper know how it was.
I've seen some of those videos of like the woman's like walking down the street and then all of a sudden she just like grabs legs and pulls him out
Yeah.
and like keeps walking.
Well, that's the thing they ask me, like, do I want to, like, pull the baby out? I'm like, no. Someone just hand him to me.
Just you handle that.
Yeah. You
What do I
handle
pay
that.
you for?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's like when they ask you to, you know, check out at the Walmart. Like, no, this is your job. I'm not doing the
I like doing
self-checkout.
self-checkout.
I mean, I do save like $50 when I do self-checkout versus...
Why? What do you mean?
You just skip a couple things.
Oh, God, stop. I was like, what are you talking about? Is it cheaper to do self-checkout?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you like skip like a steak here and there, it could be
I literally was like, are we
exponentially cheaper.
I was like, do they mark down the prices if you do self-checkout because their workers aren't doing anything? I literally thought that's what you were talking about for a
Yeah,
sec.
and then at Walmart by us, it's probably normal, but like the guy there is usually like got a cane and he's not a fast-moving feller. So like, if you pretend you don't hear him, like put AirPods in, you just keep walking. He doesn't care that much.
Walmart's been checking the receipts now, though.
Yeah, because of people like me.
Cooper's not a shoplifter.
They have a
guys.
lot of energy drinks walking out the door. That's a high-ticket item, you know? You throw like every other energy drink, you get like a 12 of them. Just, that's...
Lot of money there on
That's
energy drinks.
You're in the profit. Yeah, so basically shoplift.
Oh wait. I actually had something written down that kind of goes off of like that kind of situation, actually, like workers and stuff, because we were having a conversation once on, I had it written down what should be tipped and what shouldn't be tipped.
Oh, like when should you tip somebody?
When should you tip somebody?
I would like to get out of the tipping situation altogether in the U.S. I would like for us to slowly get completely away from tipping and people just get paid.
Yeah, like good wages so that
Yeah.
yeah.
Same with like realtors. I don't think they deserve as much commission as they get. I think used car salesmen don't deserve any
But like
commission.
everything nowadays like has a little tip thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just certain things I'm like, should you be getting a tip for this? Like, what were we talking about? It was something like a Starbucks that's making my coffee. Like that I'm fine to tip, you know? Like obviously at a restaurant, like I'm being served. That I'm fine to tip. Like if someone's servicing me, I guess. But
Wow.
there was an example of something that like wasn't a service that asked for a tip, and I was like,
Yeah, like if you just get like takeout, do you tip them?
yeah, that's always like a little questionable, but that I guess that is true. Like,
And I'm not saying like people like
Yeah,
I've worked in
yes.
plenty of jobs that don't get tips. I've done that pretty much my whole life. I've never worked in a job where I get tips.
that's what we were talking about. We were talking about like the store,
Like retail.
like retail. You almost should get tipped because you're servicing.
Some retail
people.
works on commission.
Yeah, true. But if you're not working on commission, like when you're working in retail, it's like you're helping people try on clothes, you're picking items for them. Like when you're like working with a customer like that, like you're providing a service. So you like should be able to ask for tips. But then like when you order takeout, they're not servicing you. Yes, I understand like they're packaging your bag, and I always tip when we get takeout as well. But, like, they're really just packaging your bag. Like, I'm not being served my meal and, like, taken care of, you know? So it's, like, reality, I feel like you shouldn't have to tip that.
You know what's also frustrating is tip before you've consumed product. Like...
What do you mean?
So, like, say you order takeout and it's delivery. I've heard, like, Uber Eats, some guys won't even pick up the meal to deliver it. Like, they won't, like, accept that if there's not a tip on there. So you have to tip before you even got good service. At least at a restaurant, okay, I got the service. I know what I got.
And then you can, like, tip accordingly.
Decide.
Yes, yeah.
These people need tips before they even know what's...
And you could say that about, like, a coffee shop, too. Like, what, like, I order right there.
But they didn't hand it to you already.
No.
Oh, yeah, they didn't hand it to you.
No, it's like I order my coffee, I pay, and then they ask if you want to leave a tip. I leave $2 for my coffee. And then what if it ends up taking super long? What if they mess up the order? What if the coffee sucks? Like,
that's
then
what
I'm
saying.
like, shoot, I shouldn't have tipped.
Yeah,
like,
tips should not be before you receive service.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, too. Yeah.
Like, I want my food first. Like, even, like, takeout. Like, it sucks. Like, I don't, you know, you probably screwed it up. I don't know till I got home.
Yeah.
There's a good chance you screwed it up. I think that's like
happened once you've got the complete wrong order.
It happened, yeah, Chinese.
At the Chinese.
Yeah. And you're a very picky eater, so I had to go back.
Well, yeah, we had someone else's entire meal. Like,
yeah, but it's not like you're going to give it back to him. I already touched it.
True, yeah.
Like, you can't just, like, say, oh, here, you know, it went to this guy's house. You know, his feet probably touched it, but now we're giving it back to you.
His feet?
Yeah, well, like, if I'm like, oh, I'm all pissed off and I, like, touch my feet onto the sesame chicken, close it back up, and now I'm like, got that guy because he took my meal.
Yeah, your feet are looking gnarly right now, too. Weird.
So wouldn't that be insane if you got some sesame chicken?
Whoever needs a pedicure, someone get this man a pedicure.
See, the way I'm built is my toes overlap.
What?
They kind of all sit in my shoe,
smushed.
like squished, overlapping each other. And I wear the right size. I just have a big foot.
Our son definitely has your big toe.
Yeah, he keeps kicking you.
I know.
It's pretty hilarious. He's like getting good.
Oh my God, last night
That's my boy.
I literally jumped. I was like, oh my God. It was like in a weird spot that he kicked me, like down by my like hip. It was very weird. He's getting big in there.
Yeah. He's definitely kicking up a storm. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Most people, unfortunately, don't deserve tips. And that's what I was told when I was an employee somewhere. I was an employee at a retail store.
Yeah, but there also is a lot of people who do deserve tips. Like
I said, most.
Like work, like, I mean, like servers, like that is, and waitresses and whatnot. Like that is a pretty grueling job where you're like waiting on people, bringing their food, bringing them drinks, on your feet, like running back and forth. Like that is a lot, you know, like.
Yeah, but like I've done like roofing, construction. Yeah. And like the best like construction people are people you don't have to interact with, and they're doing hard shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's not any easier.
But they're not serving you.
I mean, you're doing a lot for somebody's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like a mechanic. Who deserves more of a tip than the guy that checks your car for the last time before you go 80 miles an hour down the highway?
Yeah, that's true. I know. It's like, it's messed up, like how we tip, I feel like. It just...
You know who don't deserve tips? Teachers.
Teachers don't get tips.
Exactly. I've seen lifeguards get tips, though.
True.
I've seen lifeguards get tips for saving someone's life.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like a nice gesture. It's not like you tip the lifeguard every time you go to the beach, though.
No, I mean, you wouldn't.
Like, there's a tip jar when you go down to the beach.
But you don't just, like, show up at a restaurant and, like, oh, I sat at the bar and had a drink, so I tipped the waiter, even though he wasn't helping me. You know?
Well, you tip the bartender.
Yeah, but, like, you only tip the lifeguard that saved you if you need to be saved.
Oh, yeah.
Like, do cops get tips? Like, has anybody ever tipped a cop? Is that a thing?
I don't know, but like
that's like a mafia thing, I guess.
If they help you in some way, it's like, yeah, that should be. They're servicing you.
They're serving you. Protecting and serving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry for the yawn.
Tipping is a weird thing. There was something else I had about that, but I'd rather just get rid of a lot of tipping in general. Please don't turn the iPad. Please don't.
I know. There's like so many funny memes about that. I feel like where like they flip the iPad and then people behind you are like looking at you, like seeing how much you tipped, and then you're like sweating, like, do I tip? How much do I tip? It's just
You can tip on my Facebook. You can give stars. It's pretty much tip. Like if you see a post of mine that you like, you can send stars, and that is tip. Like if somebody's on like a live feed. That should not be
a thing.
Yeah, but like a live feed. That's like people send money all the time in that.
I know, but that like shouldn't be a thing. That's just like.
Yeah, but people should give me money. But they shouldn't give like.
Someone working hard at a restaurant money. Oh God, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
I miss like cash tips though. Cash tips are nice. Like $1 or $2 in a thing, but now cash is like becoming obsolete. So you got to tip with like dog coin or something. Yeah, I sent you.
I know, it's so annoying.
Wallet.
I just went and got a prenatal massage and I had to leave a tip and I didn't have cash. I'm like, it's so annoying to like put it on a card. Like I just know that is.
Yeah.
For the company and for like me, I feel like.
You know what? I feel like we're not far off from.
What?
Like somebody like working at like a restaurant, like, you know, you go to swing the iPad around and it has like tip or like sign up for my Patreon or OnlyFans. Like a QR code, like instead of a tip, if you really liked your service, you can see my butthole.
You want to see more from me? Here's my OnlyFans.
It's good marketing. You get people in the door.
Only $8 a month.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's a great deal. I have nothing to offer like that. Nobody wants to see my feet.
Yeah, no, you don't want to see those things. Those dogs.
Maybe like only dogs, and you can see my dogs. Like Millie and Jess.
Yeah, photos of Millie and Jess.
That's actually not bad. Some people ask about the tortoises like that.
Oh, you know what? Let's address Luna.
Let's address her.
Yeah, because I have been getting messages about her, and I've been answering people, but it's pretty obvious. Like I've just been posting Millie and Jess recently, and long story short, Luna was my family's dog. Mainly my mom and sisters, but we'll say family dog.
Yeah, I never had any involvement in this dog.
And my mom and sister were moving, and Luna needed somewhere to go because they couldn't take her.
No. We moved into... Oh, are you going... Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, and we moved to here. So
we moved into a house, and they were like, perfect, you got a house.
No, that's not why. No, because my mom sold her house. My sister was living in New York City.
Yeah.
My mom was traveling, so she couldn't bring Luna till it was in the city. We had just bought this house, and then...
And we had never lived together before. This was our first time living together.
Oh, yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then I was like, well, we'll take in Luna.
She showed up with a dog.
Yeah, I was like, we'll take in Luna. We had a conversation about it, and you agreed. We literally were in New York, and we drove all the way back from New York with her. Remember? My little Volkswagen?
Are you sure I was there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you flew up and drove back with me. It was my last summer working there.
Maybe. Sounds like me.
Yeah, you definitely did. So then we had Luna for 3 years, 3 or 4 years, and she has always been bad with kids. Like ever since my mom and sister had her, if she was walking somewhere and like a little kid was running by, she would growl and bark at them. And she just has other little quirks of like howling and barking, and the kids thing was like the main problem, and we kind of always knew like when that time came we would have to figure something out. So that time came, and my sister took her in for a little while, and then my sister ended up finding her a new home, which she's with.
Your sister took her back for a while.
Yeah,
because it was her dog.
Yeah, she was like her and my mom's dog.
We were just babysitting her for an extensive amount of time.
Yeah,
she was difficult, as you guys know.
Yeah, she
was difficult.
But we loved her. Like
of course, I took great care of her.
Yes, like, and you guys would play, and like her and Millie would play, and like it was.
She was mean to Jess.
She did bully Jess when we got Jess, but it really was just the kid thing. And like, for example, if she felt like she was alone in the house, like she didn't see any of us around, she would start howling, crying, like,
uncontrollably.
And, like, uncontrollably, like, wouldn't stop. And, I mean, with a baby, like, if that happens, like, I literally would have to be like, Luna, Luna, so that she would hear me and know that, like, we were here. Like, I don't know if it was, like, an anxiety thing with her, but that was just, like, one of the quirks that she had out of, like, a lot of other ones.
When I would come in late at night, that would always be tough. If I would come in while you're sleeping...
Yeah, she'd go crazy.
She would go crazy. Yelling and barking and all kinds of stuff. And, like, that's impossible to deal with when you have a newborn.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with that?
But, I mean, mainly, the main reason is just, like, she's not good with kids. And, like,
and we've tried everything. We did barking collars. We did everything. We did so much work.
She doesn't like water, like baths. So we actually had, like, a spray bottle of water that when she would bark and stuff, we'd try to, like, train her that way, which is a harmless way to train a dog. And it just, like, didn't work. It was great for the time being, but now we're, like, our next chapter in life. She's not a good family dog.
Yeah.
Like, she just needs, like, to be
one-on-one.
It's not like
we sent her to the pound.
No.
She went to a nice, loving home.
Yeah, my sister found her a new owner who, like, was really interested in her and really excited about her. And they did, like, a trial week, and then she, like, fell in love with her and kept her. And my sister is a dog groomer and is still grooming her. Like, she's grooming Luna this week. So, like, still in touch. So it's all good. She's good, but...
I'm convinced she'll be back in my position. I think she's kind of like herpes in that way.
She always comes back.
She'll find her way back.
I know. I had a really hard time with it, though, because it's like you feel just sad and, like, guilty, and I don't know. It's just... But I know that was what was best for her. Like, she wouldn't have been happy with, like, she needs a lot of attention and love. And, like, and if she doesn't get that, she reacts in a bad way. Like, Millie and Jess, they're needy, but, like, you can just stop and they stop, you know?
Yeah.
Like, she would react in a different way where it's like she needs just, like, a one-on-one person. Like, even with Millie and Jess, like, I don't think she was that happy because... She just wanted all the attention. I don't know. I could go on about it, but...
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we had to make a tough decision, but...
Yeah.
It is what it is. I mean, she was a good dog. We gave her a great amount of time. I mean...
We did take
She went to a farm upstate.
No.
That's what they say, right?
Stop. No.
All Yeller style.
No. She's in a good home, and she's happy and doing good. So that's a Luna update. Just wanted to do that.
There's the Luna update. Still a lunatic wherever she's at. Mm-hmm. But now she doesn't have to deal with a kid, hopefully.
Yeah.
So.
Let's talk about your win.
I won $5,000 on paper the other day. But
Woo!
I was at the Florida No Time 8th Mile Race Street Style Shootout. And, you know, the Street Style deal, they let you in even if you've shown times in the last year. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, they have, like, 3 classes. They do an Invitational, they do a Street Style, and they do... I'm not going to get too far into that because I will have Troy Jr. on at some point, and we can talk all about No Time. But
Yeah.
They have a couple classes, and I was in with that. I snaked my way into the finals pretty much, you know?
You did.
Let
me just also shout out LouTube. Shout him out because I wasn't there, and that's how you say it, right?
LouTube TV.
Yeah, I wasn't there, and... I watched on his live stream on YouTube. Amazing live stream that man does.
He crushes
and he's just a one-man guy who has a camera and a live feed going, and it was great.
He walks the pits. He gets interviews.
Yep.
He has a Starlink, so he's always got good service. And he's got a top-end camera that he switches. He's got the
classes on the thing, and then the rounds that you're at. Like,
shout out,
great.
Lou.
Yeah,
I should really have him on here at some point.
You should.
He deserves some... He deserves a shout out because he goes to every Thursday night test and tune, every event. He'll probably be there this weekend at Mod Knots. I don't know, 100% if they allow him on property for that deal, but
he's killing it though.
Doing great. Doing awesome.
So I got to watch your passes.
Yeah, so Bronte got to watch from home. And I mean, it was a late night. We didn't finish until like what?
You weren't home till like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Or 1 a.m. maybe.
Yep. So,
and we didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. because we were so excited.
And basically every pass I raced a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. First pass I raced my buddy Colin. Second pass I raced James Tall. Third pass, I raced, I don't really know him well, Mark. He's got a pretty nice little LS Fox body, and it broke. And then the finals, I raced Jim Braun, who's been on this show twice now, and he'll probably be on again in the next week or two.
Jim's like one of your best friends.
Of course.
Yeah.
We talk every single day, basically.
I was on the phone with him this morning.
He's driving back from Maryland. In his defense.
Yeah.
So I ended up making it to the finals with Jim. We split before we raced, and then,
you split the pot. Like
we
you
split the
agreed.
pot,
You
yeah.
agreed. Like we're gonna split the winnings.
Yeah, because he was scared. He was scared, so he approached me and he said, "Would you like to split?" And I was like,
that was a race for you where like technically it's gonna sound mean, but like on paper, you probably shouldn't have won like against any of those people.
Yes, and I had to give James $500 for going red against me.
What?
Because I paid him to do that. I paid him to go red. He wouldn't have, normally I would be impossible for me to compete with James. So $500 under him for that.
Okay, so we...
But then $2,500 to Jim for spinning.
Yeah, but that was just like a perfect example of your car like being consistent and you doing your job right of like leaving good, going A to B, that you won.
Yeah. I mean, because I could have spun against somebody else and they would have still beaten me, even though they spun. We could have both spun Jim had lane choice too, because I gave him lane choice. He was like, "Oh, what lane do you want?" I was like, "I don't care."
Okay.
And he ended up picking right lane before we pulled up, and we realized pretty quickly right lane was starting to go away.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh, nice." He picked the wrong lane, and I was in right lane all night. That was my first left lane pass. So I was kind of excited because I was like, well, first I was a little apprehensive. I was like, "Oh, now I'm changing it up."
Should I just stay in the right lane? I've been doing good the whole time on that side. Yeah.
And unfortunately, or fortunately, if I picked right lane, my car probably wouldn't have spun.
Yeah, because
But if he was in left lane, his car would have hooked.
Yeah.
So I could have been okay in both lanes because my car is so superior to most. But he really should have been in left lane to get down.
Yeah.
So I got lucky. He got unlucky, but I got the big check.
You kind of did. I mean, it was like a mix of luck, but also just like you doing your job and the car doing your job consistently.
Yeah, luck is when preparation meets... what do they say? It's luck is when preparation meets skill, I guess they could say, because the car made it to every round, it didn't blow up.
Yeah, right.
That's preparation.
Yeah.
And a little bit of luck on my side. But not too bad. I'm pretty pumped about that. So I got some cash. I haven't talked about the car's current state. I'll have a video at that later. The car is...
What do you want to say about it?
The motor is not motoring the way I would like it to. She normally goes tick, 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 tick. She normally goes how does it go? Brrr, and it's kind of there's
okay.
It's stuttering, Yeah.
Doesn't sound like something good.
Less than ideal.
That'd be the thumbnail photo.
Less than ideal. Not promising.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Part of it, right?
Yeah. They're only here for a short time.
I mean,
think it's
your motor
a valve.
your motor hasn't been out in a while, right? It's been...
Yeah, it's been in there for a good bit.
Yeah.
I think it needs some valves, which isn't bad.
Okay.
Just the cylinder head needs a quick on through. And on the 16th, I think I got my engine builder coming on for a podcast, so I'm gonna
sweet talk him
a little. Yeah, I'll break out the good beverages.
Wait, Joe from Fast Forward?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
He'll be coming on next week sometime.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And then I got a lot of podcasts lined up because
really?
I'm talking with Joe to come on, talking with Jim and Brett to come on again after their FL2K and World Cup win. Trying to talk to John Lund about coming on after his World Cup win.
Garrett and not Garrett, Garza
and JH. I'm trying to get Blake Wilkie on. Maybe Side by Side blog guys when they're back down here.
Cool.
Haven't had Butterfield on. I had Leo and Seuss last time.
Yeah.
Trying to get Clay Milliken on when he's down here. This is like 2 weeks.
Are you going to do all that? Guess I won't see you for 2 weeks.
I might have to just like change shirts, hot swap people out.
Yeah, just make your schedule just like back to back. And
I filmed the Pirelli one.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know, like, can I handle a 5 hour with like a slight interval? Like 5 hours of conversation, like one person, quick interval.
That would probably be like two people, though.
That's
really.
what I mean, though, but that's 2 back-to-back podcasts is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot in one day.
I mean, you love talking, though.
I can talk, but I'm going to need like a lozenge. Like a throat
need a
lozenge.
A lozenger.
Lozenger?
Yeah.
Not like a throat lozenge? Like just one.
I think it's a lozenger.
Lozenge? It sounds weird.
Stop saying it like that.
Lozenger?
Lozenge?
And then there's more people also, because I'll probably have Victor on to promote some FL2, some races coming up at BMP this year. I just had a pretty fun one with the Mod Knots guys, Justin Young. That's a fun one to check out. Garrett's one, if you haven't listened to it. Pretty unlikely you're listening to this one without having to listen to that one.
Yeah.
But there's a lot coming down the pipeline for
That's
this.
good.
We're about to hit 1 year in.
That's one. What's the date?
It was like November. No, it was December 9th was
Okay.
my first episode.
Holy moly.
So
That's
we're about
awesome.
to be 1 year, and this is episode. Technically, it's episode 13 of Bogetti Bunch, but it's episode like 69,
Wow.
just in total.
Wow.
So 69 episodes this year.
And
Nice.
and the channel is so close to 50K. That'd be sick to get in this next month.
50K.
Subscribe if you're listening.
Yes, hit
And
that
not
subscribe button, and it helps us grow. The only reason I care about more subscribers is because we can get better guests on here.
Yeah.
Bigger guests.
Yeah.
When I approach people about coming on and there's more subscribers, they are way more willing, and that is the only motive.
It is cool to hit those numbers though, like just as milestones.
It's cool, but
of
it
course,
just
like,
makes it look more
It
legit.
gives you more
Street cred?
yeah, kind of what's the word? Like legitimacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's not for, like, my own vanity.
Yeah.
It's legitimately just so that,
Of course.
I mean, I can be pretty vain sometimes, you know? That's why I have a 4 foot by 4 foot QR code on the back of my car.
True, forgot about that thing.
Yeah. I text the announcers before I'm pulling up to tell me to look good. Like, hey, talk nicely about me, please.
Say
Be
something
gentle.
Nice. Say something nice, please.
Yeah. I mean, that's all vanity for sure.
What other races do we have coming up?
Well, the car has to go be not doing the pa 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 pa
Oh,
pa.
yeah, yeah.
It has to do pa 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 pa.
But what wasn't Snowbirds or something was possibly putting a class in? When is that?
Victor was just talking about putting a Snowbirds class with a streetcar deal in the end of November. November 30th is Snowbirds.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's unlikely, but maybe. I mean, I can get that motor in and out in like 3 hours. And if it's just a cylinder head, Joe can have that fairly quick. And Victor has valves, so if it's just valves, then that won't be too bad. And it'd be pretty cool to get it back together.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe.
And then Mod Knots.
Mod Knots is this weekend, and I'm still trying to find a ride for it. I'm thinking about trying to find a vehicle to drive. Yeah, I was actually thinking about reaching out to see if Garrett needs somebody to drive McFlurry.
Wait, what is Mod Knots? Isn't it like a Mustang thing?
It's Mustangs only, mod motors only. So
okay.
Coyotes or like mod motors. So McFlurry fits
Is he racing
extremely
in
well. Probably not. And James is out of town racing in Orlando.
Oh,
So James can't go race. So me and Jim were joking about that.
that would be fun.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know though, because like I haven't been around the car at all. Like in the
Yeah.
new motor, like I drove it with the old motor, so I understand the Lenko.
Right.
And
Does
like,
it still have that lingo
Yeah.
in it?
and like I'm not an idiot when it comes to like making sure a car is good,
Yeah.
but it's a big ask.
Can I borrow your car?
But it'd be pretty funny to go out there.
Funny. Yeah. Is it just one day? You bet?
No, it's like 6 days.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh shoot.
I know. It's
When
a
does
lot.
that start?
I would just qualify and then leave for.
When does it start?
It starts like, I think the 9th to the 13th, I want to say.
So Wednesday?
Yeah.
Holy crap, right? Isn't that the 9th?
I think so.
Why did I think it was just like, oh, no, that's Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So would that make sense? 9th to the 13th?
9 to the 12th.
To the 12th?
Thursday to Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, to the 12th.
Yeah, so that'll be Mod Nuts.
Cool.
I've never been to that event because this is our first time in Bradenton. But it would be fun to race it in something and try to win something with it. Mm-hmm. I just don't.
Trying to find a car to drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a ride.
Someone give Cooper a ride.
Yeah, I'm out there panhandling with my thumb up, walking down.
Hold up a sign.
Yeah.
Need a car.
I am a slightly good driver. Please let me drive your vehicle.
We should.
I can get lucky sometimes.
You should make a sign and post it on Facebook. Be like, anyone have a car for me to race at Mod Knots?
Yeah. Please.
Yeah, please.
Please help me.
Please help us.
Everything
help
I have,
man.
well, not everything. I have a bunch of pushrod vehicles and I need something with 4 overhead cams. Please help for me.
That would be funny.
So yeah, trying to find that. Maybe it'll work out. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Pirelli, but we may talk about that after the video comes out because I did a podcast with a couple of guys from Pirelli, and I'll give you a brief synopsis. I did not know what to expect. Mm-hmm. I talked to their VP of marketing and one of their technical directors. I'm not insanely thrilled about how it went, not just because of, like, I didn't know what to expect, and they're employees of a corporation, so they're obviously hesitant to speak very openly. Mm-hmm. Every word they kind of like hesitated on. Mm-hmm. Nothing against them. I get it. They have jobs.
Yeah.
It just kind of was a good learning experience for me.
Yeah.
You got to be a little bit more clear when you get offered to film with people that what your intentions are.
Right.
And the VP of marketing obviously sounded like a marketing guy, which is fine. What I expect.
Yeah.
And then the guy that I was supposed to film with wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of all was crazy. And there was people walking into my frame because I filmed it in a huge open room that 200 people had just had lunch in and were cycling in and out of. So it was just wild.
Yeah.
I got there and I was like, okay, I'll like, let's film the podcast. And she was like, okay, like, how long do you need? Like 10 minutes? I was like, to set up? Yeah. What?
Oh, God.
But I'll probably talk about this again after
you've wanted to do, like, bring your podcast, like, with you places. So that was a good, like, learning experience of, like, bringing all of your stuff and, like, doing something like that. But it was definitely very, like, I feel like it wasn't on your terms. Kind of.
I just didn't know what to expect. And granted, when I sit down with anybody, I don't know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but can I also play the devil's advocate that, like, you also could have asked more and kind of known what to expect? And you could have also told them, like, I need an hour. I want to be able to ask these questions. I want to be able to talk openly. Like,
well, the guy that I was supposed to talk to, who I did research on, wasn't even there. I didn't know that until 10 minutes before I filmed.
I know. Yeah, that part definitely sucked.
Like, I was like, what did you expect me to do?
Yeah, like, they should have told you that, but...
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I kind of worked with what I got. And then the guy after...
Yeah, you did.
The one guy after we were talking was really cool and telling me all this cool stuff that he has done in his life, but he couldn't talk about it on a podcast because he was there as a Pirelli...
Yeah.
brand ambassador in a way.
Yeah, where that's like, now you know that if you ever do something like that with a bigger brand, to ask the person you're communicating with, like, is there going to be things that they can't talk about? Because I like to talk very openly and ask open questions on my podcast, you know?
Oh, and I still did. Like, I knew what they couldn't talk about, and I kind of assumed, but that doesn't mean I didn't try.
Yeah. That's kind of part of your job, though. You're like an interviewer.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying. I was prying a little bit.
I'm sure it went good. Like, I think you're probably just being a little hard on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. It's not that long either. It was 2 people, and they were 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine. It's just tough. You never know what you're going to expect when you do these things. And I got to try these things. And now I know, like, me and Chris talked about it after. I'm going to send, like, a expectations sheet.
Smart.
And he says he sends it out to all of his clients. He's like, I expect there to be 3 outlets. I expect there to be
smart.
a table in private
Yes.
with good acoustics. Like, I expect.
Like a private room, 2 chairs, a table.
Yes, I expect you to have somebody there that is willing to openly talk for an hour that doesn't need a PR person to harp on every word.
Yeah.
I expect that.
Yeah.
And if those expectations can't be met, when I show up there, I can actually say, like, hey, this is what I expected.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. I got to drive a car on the track, though.
That's
That
a
was
good
cool.
learning experience, though. I like that a lot, too. Like, having, like, your expectation list. Like,
Of course.
what you need from it. Yeah.
And I hope to talk to one of the guys from Nitto as well. There's another guy at Nitto I know, Ron. I'm pretty sure it's Ron, yeah. He's awesome. He will completely speak openly, even though he works for a big tire corporation.
Most people, I feel like, do, though.
People are scared. People don't want to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
It's a 150-year-old company.
Some people are contractually obligated to not say certain things, like, within their job.
Of
so,
course.
like, it's understandable, but you should be able to know going into it, like, oh, they're not allowed to talk about this, you know?
Well, like, an example is the first guy I talked to, after the fact, he was like, oh, yeah, like, I used to be a pro stock drag racer and traveled all around the country doing that, but it was for a different tire company, so I can't bring that up. And I was like, so you're going to tell me you have years of pro stock drag racing experience, which
We couldn't talk about
and
it.
we can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And then there was like some EPA stuff that he was telling me about after, and I'm like, man, this is wild.
This is the juice that we needed to squeeze out of you when we're on the podcast. It's all right. It happens.
I know.
I think it was a good experience for you and a good learning experience and something different.
It was actually a fun
day.
I had
Seemed like
fun on the day, but I also, the challenge of talking to them was a challenge because I almost had to, like, I kind of saw it as like trying to chop a tree down.
You had to chip away at them.
You had to chip away till you find that right spot. Almost.
Yeah.
Not just like, got it.
Right. Yeah. Like it took some work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where usually your conversations are so just like natural and like they flow and like you don't have to dig at people like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So it is what it is. Not too bad.
And then you got to drive cars when you were there, right?
Yeah, I drove a BMW when I was there, and then they had a bunch of like cars lined out. They were like, "Look at all these cars you get to drive." And then like I went to like sign up to drive them, and they were like, "Well, you could drive the BMW, or we can drive you around in this McLaren or this Porsche." And I was like, I don't want to just be driven around. And then they were like, "Oh, well, you could actually also drive this Lucid, this electric car, like one of the highest horsepower electric cars ever." And we're at a racetrack, and I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll sign up to drive the Lucid." I walk over there to drive the Lucid, and I was like, "Okay, cool." Like, I had my helmet, and he was like, "Oh, you don't need a helmet for this." I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Well, we just do like a little street drive around so you can feel the car out." Like, why are we by the track?
You didn't even take it on the track?
No.
Oh my God.
I was like, why is this not told to me?
Oh, God.
And they gave me steak and stuff. Like, they had a great lunch. I was like,
I got a steak out of it.
but like, there was no distinction between like what you get to drive or
Yeah.
ride in or not on the track, on the track. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't like, like Porsche 911 Turbo, my dream car, or GT3 RS, they had them both there. Dream cars of mine. But like, I don't need to go drive. Like, I don't need to sit next to an instructor and like just like, what are you going to do? Just drive me around?
I guess it's the a ride along experience. I don't know, right?
What am I, a Make-A-Wish kid? like I'll just pass. Like, I'm good. Like, what are you gonna do?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody had fun doing it. I'm sure
You did go for a ride along in the Urus, though.
off-road. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool. But like, I drove the BMW on the track, and then like I was gonna now opt to sit passenger. Not to sound ungrateful, but like, I'll just go home.
You ungrateful Piece of shit.
Just go home. It's fine.
Oh, God, that's funny.
And then they also said you could drive your own car. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'm just going to beat on your cars. What are you talking about?
Yeah, of course I'm not going to drive my own car.
Drive my own car? I didn't get track insurance for the day to go drive it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't, you know, you get like day pass track insurance. You can get that through like Haggerty or something. They do that. But I didn't do that for the wagon. So I'm like, I'm not going to go beat on the wagon.
Yeah, no.
And it was a really small track. So I would be really hard on brakes
if you drove the wagon around?
Yeah, it'd be really hard on the brakes to do that. And I was just like, yeah, I'm good.
not doing that,
Yeah. And then...
Well, I mean, okay, overall, I feel like
No, it was a great day.
had a good day.
It was really fun. The Pirelli experience, shout out to them for letting me come and partake in that. It was really fun. I wasn't super clear on what was going on in the day.
Yes,
I kind of just blindly dove in, and I was like, I'll figure it out. Me and Chris at Project Prime just went and freaking run and gun.
That's a difference, because I would have made sure I knew everything going into it. Like, I would have asked the person who we were emailing, like, questions and things to know what to expect. Like, I feel like I was asking you questions before you were going. You were like, yeah, I think so. Like,
yeah, I just brought my helmet and some gear, and I was like, I'll figure it out when I'm there.
Typical man. Also, this is so typical man, too, that you do all the time. I feel like men do this on purpose to their, like, wives, significant others, but I swear, Cooper tells me places are shorter than they actually, like, to get to a place takes way shorter than it actually is. Because I was like, how far is this place? He's like, oh, it's like 30 minutes. And then when he went, I didn't go, but when he went, I was like looking at his location. I was curious, and it was an hour away.
It was 50 minutes.
No, my phone said 1 hour and like 6 minutes, actually.
I think it took me like 50 minutes to
Maybe
get
that
there.
was traffic at one point. But okay, but still, 30 minutes to 50 minutes is such a big difference. And you've done that so many times. You're like, oh yeah, it's only going to be like an hour drive. It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I probably just try to gaslight myself a little to make
Or
myself feel better.
me.
Well, also, it was 50 minutes and like 90% of it was highway. So like that's very different than like 50 minutes of like slow moving, like if you were to try to go like downtown.
Yeah, but I feel
that to me is different.
I just feel like that's such a man thing that you guys are just like, oh yeah, it's only 10 minutes, and then it ends up being a 30-minute drive.
I mean, I'll do that with like when I have to go to the transmission shop. I'll just be like, oh yeah, I mean, it's only a couple hours. It's like 3.5.
Yeah, you're like, I'll be there in an hour or two.
Like, whatever.
Like, no, it's actually 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
I've done a lot of driving, so it doesn't really bother me.
I know. Yeah, I guess everything just feels shorter to you or something.
Yeah. But the Pirelli deal was fun. Shout out to them for letting me. I feel like, I was going to say, there was a crisp, beautiful, big supercharged Ford GT, yellow, black stripes, and he took it out first thing in the morning. He goes to make his first lap. He's getting a feel for it. He gooses it on the like smaller straightaway, and the thing just breaks traction and just turns itself around, backs into the wall, noses forward into the wall, and just cooked it. Just like one of the most beautiful cars there. There was probably like 10 like hypercar, like supercars that people brought out, like borderline like classics and stuff.
Oh,
it was a bad deal. We all just there was like everybody was kind of watching. There was just like a sigh of like oof, just like a collective oof. Yeah, I didn't talk to the guy after or anything. I didn't see who it was. I don't know if he stayed or what, where the car ended up.
Was the car really bad?
I never went and looked at it. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it was on the track for a good bit. I guess it was one of their first accidents they've had there at the Motor Enclave. It just opened up. They didn't even have like permanent bathrooms there yet. It was just like a trailer.
Oh my god.
It's very fresh.
I thought it's been open for a little while.
Not the event center that we were at. Maybe like some of the smaller rooms. But we were at like an event center.
Gotcha.
And this was like their first event. But it's really nice. I would recommend going there if you can. Another story I wanted to talk about was the other day, like, man, when was it? It was like 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago probably, when I went to Wendy's. Remember when I was telling you about that? It was like 11 o'clock at night, me and Jim and Bryant were driving home to come sleep here. They were staying over. And I was like, oh, I'll just stop at Wendy's and get us all stuff.
Yeah, it's right on the way home.
Yeah, it was like 11:30. Wendy's closed at midnight. I was like, cool, I got 30 minutes. I was in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't that dirtbag. And I pull up. I'm waiting at their ordering thing. I'm like, hello. My truck's pretty loud, so they probably heard it. Like, it idles pretty loud. Nothing. So I pull up, like, to the window, and, like, I'm clearly in the window. Like, I'm clearly at the window. And there are 4 employees that were working their hardest to not make eye contact. Like, they were trying. Like, you know when somebody's, like, really trying to look away? They know somebody's there. Like, you can feel it. You know, you probably saw me a little bit, but you're like, you know, if we made eye contact, it's on. Like, I'm coming in there.
They were avoiding.
Oh, fully avoiding. And they were like kind of cleaning up, but like still, I mean, I had another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So unfortunate. I sat there for like 5 minutes, and then it kind of occurred to me. I was like, I don't want them to make me food. They're going to spit on it. 100%. Or they're 100% going to spit on it.
That's like so unfortunate though. Like,
so I went to McDonald's. Shout out to McDonald's. You are the superior chain.
I do like Wendy's fries, but McDonald's has amazing fries too. But that's just like so rude. Like, I would understand it a little bit if it was like 11:55 and you showed up. Then it's like, okay, like they're closing. They're basically closed. But you had 30 minutes. Like,
and then there was like this. He was probably like 17-year-old, like kind of sitting out there, like waiting maybe for a ride or something. And I pull around. I'm like, hey, what time are they open till? And he was like, midnight. I was like, he had his phone. I was like, isn't it like 11:30? And he was like, yeah. I was like, are they purposely avoiding me? He was like, I can't say. I was like, what do you think? Is this something they normally do? And he's like, kinda. I was like, wow. So shout out to the Wendy's on State Road 70 next to the Chipotle.
Like, is Wendy's not paying their employees good or something? She's
real quick to be a freaking bitch on Twitter. You ever see
Wendy?
Yeah, you ever see her tweets?
No, I'm not on Twitter.
On anything, on any social media. She's real quick to be...
I have seen, like, savage comments from her.
She's real quick to harass McDonald's, yet when I show up to be a patron of your fine establishment...
McDonald's over Wendy's.
I mean,
honestly, McFlurry over Frosty, McDonald's fries over Wendy's fries.
Don't cut corners, my ass. That's
what Wendy's?
Well, they got square burgers because they don't cut corners.
Oh, I've never had a Wendy's burger.
They're square. They're square patties on a circle bun. Doesn't make sense. It's stupid, Wendy.
Will you ever go back to that Wendy's?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll try again because they're open late night and they're on their way back from the track.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get some greasy fast food on my way home from a racetrack that had greasy burgers that I could have eaten. Mm-hmm. That was my fault. I should have been a patron of Bradenton instead of a patron of some redheaded whore like Wendy.
We hate you, Wendy.
I mean, because I think McDonald's also closed at midnight. So, like, I had sat in Wendy's for like 5-10 minutes.
So then you were kind of late to McDonald's.
But McDonald's was packed and they were ripping. There was also like one guy working there though, but he was hustling.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, I was gonna go help. But I didn't think I was qualified.
You need me come in there? I can flip some burgers.
Yeah, let me know, bud. But yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. So Wendy's, shout out to you.
No. Don't shout out Wendy's.
I mean, a shout out could be good or bad, right?
Bad shout out to Wendy's.
Yeah. Burger King's not good either, but all right, well, I mean, we're about wrapped up here. Anything else you want to talk about? We didn't talk about me eating your placenta, but maybe we can save that for another one.
You're disgusting.
That's a normal thing.
It is a normal thing that I just can't believe you mentioned that. We didn't talk about me eating your placenta.
It's on the list.
Oh my God.
It's on my list of things to talk about.
It is a thing that people encapsulate their placentas where they send it off and like they literally like cook it, I think, and like freeze dry it or something.
Yeah, but
And
I wouldn't
like,
trust that it's actually yours. I'd rather like
just bring it home
right on the grill in the air fryer.
That's so disgusting. No one will be
right into the air fryer, breaded.
No.
With some Parmesan.
I think you can like donate your placenta, and I will put that down. I will like, donate it.
Starving children in Africa.
My God, Cooper, no. No, I think they actually use it for. Let me look it up.
That's a Mr. Beast video. I donated 100 placentas.
Stop. That's not funny because you don't eat them like that.
You don't eat it for nutritional value? It's got to have protein.
Yeah, I mean, it is good for the person. Placenta is rich in nutrients and has unique healing properties. It is most often used to heal traumatic wounds and diabetic ulcers.
Okay.
Situations where the skin won't easily heal on its own. Yeah, that's what I've heard, that like placentas can be used for like skin, like skin grafts or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly how.
Well, that'd be weird to eat it for skin.
No. Like if you donate your placenta, they use it for like patients who have like bad skin wounds.
It's dinner time. My brain is just
no, you're disgusting.
Complete to eat it.
You're disgusting.
I'm not gonna eat it raw.
Yeah, donated placentas can be used to heal patients with serious burns, sores, and other wounds that are difficult to heal. So that I'm like, I'll donate my placenta if they take it, but we will not be eating the placenta.
No?
No, I don't want to do that. I mean, I've heard, I don't know what it's...
This will be a hell of a clip. Check out the Bogetti Clips channel. I don't know how I'll thumbnail this one.
I don't know. It kind of grosses me out. Like, I don't want to eat that. Like, would you...
I mean, prepared correctly with like some... Like, it's
like, would you eat like your liver? Like yours?
If somebody told me it was beneficial.
You would?
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
would you eat if it came out of your butthole? Basically, because you don't have another hole that it could come out of. If it came out of your butthole, and then you grill it and eat it.
I mean, as long as it's cooked,
like, it sounds
right? Cleaned and cooked. Like, you don't just eat a fish right out of the ocean. Like, you clean it and you scale it and you cook it. You know, you got to prepare things. You don't just, like, eat a cow.
Yeah, obviously. But it's still, like, the thought of it is kind of nasty. Like...
I don't find
it's like a body part. It's literally a body part. You're eating a body part. Like,
yeah, that's the best type of food.
That's inside my body, growing.
The most dangerous game is human.
No one will be eating my placenta.
Well, I just think about the when I was a child, I always watched this movie, Planet of the Apes, the early ones, and like there was one scene where like there's like a long table of apes, and like the one humans marched in, and they're all eating. Like, there's, like, a skull with brains, and they're just eating it with, like, a spoon. Ugh. And I watched this all the time as a child. Probably why I'm so mentally scarred.
Yeah, probably. God.
Probably why things don't impact me mentally like they should.
Yeah.
It's part of it. Am I thinking of the right movie? I may be thinking of Raiders of the Lost. I may be thinking of Indiana Jones. I feel like they were eating skulls in that. It may have been. I think it was Planet of the Apes, though. I don't know. It's one of those two.
One or the other.
But shout out to the early Planet of the Apes. They're great movies. But I think that's about it now.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. I don't know if there's anything.
I have diapers written here, but I don't know what that even means. Like, my list says placenta, diapers, Wendy's, pregnant, and Pirelli. It seems like I'm going to the grocery store.
No, because what are we Stop, I'm actually
this would be a confusing list to show up at Publix with.
Because I'm actually going to pee because I have to pee. But no, remember we were having that diaper conversation about like the ingredients and stuff in them, and that's why you had it written down.
Probably.
But what you said something so funny. Remember we were sitting in the nursery and I was like talking to you about the diapers, and
I don't know. I always say funny things. I'm hilarious.
I know. You are hilarious. And it was just like, I don't know. We were talking about it.
I know. I should have written more. I should have elaborated. My notes are poor.
I'm like thinking if I think of the conversation, like.
I have written here join. What is it? Like, what am I joining?
Like, I was saying how diapers have bad ingredients and a lot of them have like chlorine in them is the bad ingredient.
Yeah.
And like weird. Was it the difference between Pampers and Pampers Pure? And you were just
probably, yeah.
You were like, they're the same or something.
I mean, it is pretty frustrating when it's like Pampers and Pampers Pure, and it's like one's just more expensive, and they're like, oh, you can get our poor person one, or you can get the expensive one. Are you do you not like your baby? Are you going to get just the regular ones? Like, that's what it kind of feels like. Like, are you a bad parent? Bad parents get the regular ones. Good parents get the pure. Like, I feel like when I'm checking out, like, the lady's like, we got a poor one over here. We got a bad parent.
Side-eyeing you with your your normal Pampers, not the pure.
Yeah, like, imagine, like, you're standing there in Walmart. One's, like, $5 more, and they come with less. And you're just like, what kind of parent am I this week?
It's the ingredients.
It puts you in a weird situation, though.
It's the chlorine. Like, apparently the chlorine is bad. Like, the babies wear diapers all day,
so why do they put
day.
it in their other one?
Because it's cheaper, I guess. I don't know.
Cheaper to add chlorine than to not?
I don't know.
It's cheaper if we it doesn't cost as much if we add chemicals.
I don't know.
Chlorine's expensive.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense, but maybe they are the same price.
They charge you more for less?
I don't know.
That is the Porsche way. Charge you more for less.
But that was something along the lines of our diaper conversation.
Yeah, I know. Diapers suck. I don't even have a kid yet. I have boxes of diapers.
We have a bunch of different brands to try because that's what I've heard. Like, you try different ones and there's some that like might irritate him that we might like better, and then you kind of just lean towards one. But
I think I've heard the Pampers Pure are more likely to have blowouts too. So there's just poor construction for more money.
Usually if you're having blowouts, that means you need to up the diaper size. But we'll see.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if he's anything like me, he's going to be ripping holes in those things.
Literally.
All right, that's it, guys. We're going to end it off there. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, join, all those good things. You'll do none of them because I asked for all of them. But thank you guys. We'll see you next time.